Every Sunday night, you tell yourself it's just another Monday. What if you've been calling burnout by the wrong name? Before you fix the problem, discover what you're really fighting. It starts the same way most weeks. 6 o'clock on Sunday, and something in her chest tightens before she even knows why. She bought the novel 3 weeks ago. It's still on the nightstand, bookmark on page 1. Because rest, lately, has stopped feeling like rest. 3 browser tabs stay open on her laptop all weekend, not because she's working. Because closing them feels like admitting the week already won. It isn't just at home. Standing in a grocery aisle, she realizes she's read the same shelf label 4 times without absorbing a word. For a moment, on the phone with a friend, she laughs, genuinely. Then her eyes land on the clock again, and the laugh fades faster than it arrived. A calendar notification slides in at 6:40 p.m. Nothing urgent, but her shoulders rise anyway, an old reflex the weekend hasn't managed to switch off. She stands in the bedroom doorway, laptop bag already packed for tomorrow, still wearing weekend clothes. 2 versions of the same evening, 1 foot in each. She tries an episode of something easy. 8 minutes in, she turns it off. Not boredom. She just can't hold her attention still long enough to enjoy it. She isn't sure what to call this feeling anymore. Tired isn't quite right. Burned out doesn't quite fit either. Something else is happening here. 2 words get used for the same Sunday feeling. This film is about why they aren't the same thing, and why knowing the difference actually matters. By 11, she scrolled for 40 minutes without registering a single post. Her thumb keeps moving. Nothing else in her actually does anymore. Choosing tomorrow's shirt used to take 10 seconds. Tonight it takes 4 minutes, 3 changes of mind, and a sigh she doesn't notice she let out. Her partner asks a simple question about dinner. Her answer comes out sharper than she means it to. He blinks. She apologizes before he can react. 8 hours in bed doesn't mean 8 hours of rest. Her body barely settles before some quiet internal alarm nudges her half awake again. A friend's text has been sitting unanswered for 4 days. Not forgotten, just one more thing she doesn't have the bandwidth to open right now. In a half-finished journal entry, she writes 3 words and stops, dreading tomorrow again. She closes the notebook without finishing the sentence. The gym bag has sat by the door since Thursday. She packed it with good intentions and hasn't touched it since, not laziness, just nothing left to give it. In the hallway, a coworker asks how her weekend was. Good, thanks, comes out easily, automatically, a small practice performance she barely notices herself giving. 2 minutes in the parking lot, before walking in. Not checking her phone. Not doing anything, just sitting there gathering whatever she'll need for the next 8 hours. Later, he asks if she's okay. She says she's fine. He doesn't push, but he also doesn't quite believe her, and neither, really, does she. 47 unread messages across 4 apps, none of them urgent alone. Together they sit in the back of her mind like a low, constant hum. None of this is dramatic on its own. A late scroll, a sharp word, a skipped show. But stacked together, week after week, it adds up to something real. Burnout and quiet quitting get used interchangeably on mine. But one is a nervous system running on empty. The other is a boundary being drawn on purpose. The dread doesn't wait for Monday to arrive. Her body starts bracing for it Sunday afternoon, shoulders tightening hours before there's anything to actually respond to. When work becomes the main source of self-worth, a bad week at the office doesn't just feel stressful. It feels like a threat to who you are. 6 items on the list. 4 are crossed off. The last 2 just sit there, unfinished, and somehow those 2 are the only ones her mind keeps returning to. When every hour of the week is already claimed by someone else's priorities, even free time can start to feel like something being managed rather than lived. There's a specific kind of dread that lives in transitions. Not the work itself, but the moment right before it when one version of the day has to become another. A notification here, a group chat there, a news alert in between. None of it is loud on its own. All of it, together, never really stops. For a few hours each day, the apartment sits empty and still. It's the only part of the day carrying no expectations at all, and no one is there to notice. This is quiet quitting, declining the extra unpaid project, closing the laptop at 5, and meaning it. Not exhaustion, a boundary drawn on purpose. This is burnout, staying 2 extra hours anyway, and still feeling behind. The body pushing forward long after the tank actually ran empty. Sometimes they overlap. A person can set a boundary at work and still be running on fumes underneath it. The categories are useful, they're just not walls. Underneath both patterns is the same missing ingredient: real recovery time. Without it, boundaries turn into exhaustion, and exhaustion never gets the chance to fully heal. None of this happens once, it repeats, Sunday after Sunday, because the actual cause never gets addressed. Only the symptoms get managed, temporarily, and only just barely. Ask her where she carries it, and she'll point to her jaw, clenched without noticing, and her shoulders, permanently a half-inch higher than they used to sit. One evening, almost experimentally, she turns the phone face down and leaves it there. A small, deliberate act. It doesn't fix everything, but it's a start. So the real question isn't which label fits better. It's why the recovery never happens, and why so many of the usual fixes don't actually solve that. She tries distraction first, app to app to app, filling every open second, hoping if she just stays busy enough, the dread won't catch up to her. A friend texts, "You seem off lately." She starts typing, "I'm fine, just busy," deletes it, types it again, and sends it anyway. Some people respond to burnout by planning harder. Every hour color-coded, every task accounted for, as if enough structure could out-organize an already empty tank. On a Tuesday, she reorganizes the entire closet in a burst of restless energy. By Wednesday, she can't bring herself to answer a single email. By 1 a.m., exhausted but unwilling to end the day, she stays up anyway, reclaiming time from a day that felt like it was never really hers. A new candle, a takeout order she didn't need, small treats that feel good for an hour and solve exactly nothing about the thing underneath them. Sometimes none of the usual fixes even get attempted. She just sits there, hand on the laptop, not working and not resting, caught in between. Distraction feels productive in the moment, but it doesn't lower the underlying stress load, it just delays the moment she has to sit with it. A packed schedule can feel like control, but without a single unclaimed hour anywhere in it, there's no room left for the body to actually recover. Across town, a colleague tries his own version of the same thing. An extra shot of espresso, a louder playlist, anything to push through one more hour. Distraction, denial, over-planning, binging, late nights, small treats, different strategies, same blind spot. None of them touch the actual cause underneath. None of it was foolish to try, but at some point, the tricks stop working, and the only real option left is to actually look at what's underneath. Same time, same apartment, different Sunday. This time, she's decided the evening dread doesn't get to run the whole show uncontested. One small change: Monday's outfit gets chosen on Friday, not Sunday night. It sounds minor. It removes one entire decision from the hardest part of the week. Real rest isn't always passive. For her, it turns out to be a sketchbook she hasn't opened in months, genuinely absorbing in a way scrolling never was. Instead of vaguely dreading Monday, she writes down its first 3 tasks. Uncertainty shrinks fast once it has an actual shape instead of a formless cloud. On Friday afternoon, she leaves herself a short note: what actually matters Monday morning. Future her walks in already knowing where to start. Some evenings, the fix isn't a system at all. It's leaving the apartment entirely, a short walk around the block, just to change the air in her head. A message comes in at 6 p.m. asking for just a quick favor. She types a short, polite decline, hits send, and doesn't think about it again. On the calendar, 1 hour now says simply, no meetings. Not glamorous, but it's the exact recovery window the earlier crowded calendar never had room for. At the same cafe table, he skips the extra espresso shot this time. Small decision, but it's one less thing pushing him further past his own limit. That evening, she finally says the actual sentence. I think I've been more stretched than I've let on. He nods. It isn't a big moment. It's enough. The week wasn't perfect. 2 things stayed unfinished. But for the first time in a while, that fact doesn't feel like failure, just like an honest, ordinary week. That same overhead angle, weeks later, tells a different story. Less shifting, less half-waking, just steady, uninterrupted stillness through most of the night. In the same grocery aisle, weeks later, she reads the label once, makes her decision, and moves on. The fog that used to sit behind her eyes has lifted. Monday morning arrives, and for once it arrives as just a morning, not a verdict, not a threat, just the next ordinary part of the week. Nothing about her job changed. The workload is roughly the same. What changed is the recovery window around it. Small, protected, and no longer optional. There's no dramatic before and after here. Just a quieter Sunday, a steadier Monday, and a little more room to breathe in between the two. 6:14 on a Sunday. Same clock, same apartment. This time it's just a number on the wall. Nothing more, nothing less. Burnout means the tank is empty and needs real recovery. Quiet quitting means a boundary has been drawn on purpose. Different problems, different solutions. Down the hall, he leaves at 5 again. Not because the job got easier, but because he finally stopped treating rest as something to earn. Dinner, a little conversation, nothing urgent waiting in the background. It isn't a dramatic ending, it's just an ordinary Sunday evening, finally allowed to be one. This wasn't really about one Sunday, or one apartment. It's about the quiet difference between running on empty and choosing where the line gets drawn. Some weeks will still be harder than others. That hasn't changed. But now, at least, there's a clearer sense of what's actually happening and what to do about it. If this helped you see your own week more clearly, tell us in the comments which one you related to and share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe for more.